Hello, friends. I'd like to welcome you to Meditaciones Diarias.com.
Today's devotional is titled When Salt Loses Its Flavor for March 23rd. My name is Xiomara and I'm speaking to you from New York City. Let us read in Matthew chapter 5 verse 13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? What images come to your mind when you think of Abraham? It is actually not very difficult to imagine the patriarch pitching his tent in a solitary place and then building an altar on which to worship God with his family. And what do you imagine when you think of Lot? I don't know about you, but I tend to associate him with Sodom, a night and day difference. Why? Speaking of Abraham is speaking of a tent and an altar. The tent identified Abraham as a pilgrim and stranger in this world, for he waited for the city which has foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Hebrew 11:10. In turn, the altar was a testimony of the God he worshipped. Day after day, his family and servants met around the altar to receive such instruction as would prepare them to be representatives of the true faith. Patriarchs and Prophets, chapter 11, page 141. In Lot's case, on the other hand, there was neither a tent nor an altar. Therefore, it is no surprise that when Lot wanted to warn his son-in-laws of Sodom's imminent destruction, they thought he was joking. Genesis 19:14. Patriarchs and Prophets says that they laughed at what they call his superstitious fears. Chapter 14, page 139. How can something so unheard of be explained? The only possible explanation for Lot's son-in-laws is that by that time in his life, to a large extent, Lot had lost his credibility. He could only speak or be quiet. The effect was the same if he spoke or didn't. In the Lot's words, the salt had lost its flavor. When that happened, my friend, it is then good for nothing. Matthew 5:13. I wonder what went through Lot's mind after having lost his wife and everything he had amassed in Sodom. When he remembered the days in which he had lived in tents with Abraham, when they worshipped God around the altar, and most of all when having been able to settle in Canaan, he had chosen to live in the Jordan Valley. He must have felt a tremendous sense of loss. The problem began when he gradually began pitching his tents near Sodom. Genesis 13:12. Until the day came when the salt lost its flavor. How can you and I avoid the same mistake? On the one hand, let us never lose sight of the fact that our citizenship is in heaven. Philippians 3:20. On the other, let us do our best so that nothing will keep us from having a daily encounter with God around the altar. Dear Lord, like Abraham, I ask that nothing in this world will make me lose sight of the fact that I am a pilgrim and that my citizenship is in heaven. Let nothing keep me from having a personal daily encounter at the altar with you. Amen. Don't forget to share this content with your friends and family using the link www.meditacionesdiarias.com.
I just want to thank you all for visiting us each day here at Meditacionesdiarias.com. May you have a blessed day.